Howdy guys in YouTube land. Look what I have. This is a 17-inch iMac. Holy fisheye. Oh well. Just looks like a bubble. But anyway, basically, where I work at, the next door neighbor works for the local trash company called Rumpke. Well, on his route, he found this in the trash. At first glance, I thought it was just your basic iMac G5 iSight model, which is what that one is. This one is full of lines. I was going to try to rework this panel and put another panel in there, but I quickly realized that this is a TMDS panel, which is ironically the same standard as DVI and HDMI, but this is a TMDS panel. They're hard to find unless I'm going to do a TMDS to LVDS conversion. But this one I thought was an iMac G5, but there's a difference. This one says iMac 17 2.0. Well, the G5's hopped from 1.9 to 2.1. And then it's got 1 gigabyte of RAM standard along with the super drive, Bluetooth, and airport. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not a G5 configuration. And you look at the memory module. That's laptop memory. G5s didn't use laptop memory. And then I've seen the copyright date of 2006, so you know what? This is an Intel Mac. Probably a Core Duo or a Core 2 Duo. You know, but before I recognized all of that, I plugged it in and tried to fire it up. That's what we're going to do right here. It doesn't chime, but look at that. Broken screen. That's probably why it got thrown away, or they broke the screen by accident, one or the other. One thing I noticed though, I don't know if you can see on the image, but there's the line coming down the screen that this one tries to do, or well, it does. Look how fast that thing started up. That's already booted, already done. So that was the first indicator that I thought this was an Intel Mac, because it started Mac OS very fast. Like, wait a minute, this G5 takes forever to boot. This one's quick. So that's when I started looking at the base and realized what it was. And anyway, starting to get the line of death here, but somebody probably got mad and took their fist and went BAM, because that's the impact point. Then again, it's possible it could have got broke when it was in the garbage, but somehow I doubt it. So I don't see any of the inherent video issues that these early Intel Macs were notorious for. But what I am going to do is replace the panel. But from what I was reading online, this is your standard LVDS panel, because this is the TT series, which is the TMDS panel. And this is the TL series, which is the LVDS version. So what I'm going to do is just replace it with a generic panel, because the reason why I don't want to buy the exact replacement is anybody that's owned one of these or researched these know that these panels are notorious for the lines of death. And it's already started up here. So these panels are notorious for the lines of death, so even if I would replace it, it's just going to get lines like this one does anyway. Like, for example, look how bad this one is. That one at least chimes. This one, the sound may be muted. I don't know, I have to go on the system to find out. See how much longer that thing takes? Now look at that. See all those lines? Yeah. And you know, just not too long ago there were no lines at all through here, and just simply editing 2 videos, boom. So I mean, it's just one of those things. Look how long it's taken to start up. So, well, this is running Leopard. It's possible this might still be running Tiger, which is going to be a huge difference there anyway. But I don't have Intel version of Tiger, only PowerPC, so I got Snow Leopard. But hell, if this is a Core 2, I can run Lion on this thing. Maybe. I don't know. But look how long it's taken to start up. Now you can really see the lines. But eventually this is what this panel was going to do, because they're made the same. The only difference is that's TMDS and this is LVDS. So technically you can hook, if this panel were good, technically you can hook this panel directly to the DVI port on a computer or an HDMI to DVI adapter, and it will drive this panel, no problem. But no, look at that. So this thing is clearly completely useless. I mean, I could still use it, it's just very annoying. And like this row here is completely dead. And shut that down. But this one has just started getting that lines of death. The first one popped up right there. And my guess is the guy got mad and broke the screen. But back to my original point is I want to replace the screen with a generic 17.1 and just convert with the pinout from the main board to the display. But you can't just replace the screen, okay, with one that's different than this one, because there is on the board, when I take this thing apart, when I do a video I'll show you, but on the main T-Con board that sits up here on the top of the panel on the other side, the main T-Con board has a little tiny EEPROM chip. It's known as the EDID EEPROM, which is the panel's resolution settings, the model number, serial number, dot pitch, pixel clock, everything that describes the panel in detail is stored in that chip. And the way it works is that on a standard laptop or whatever, the GPU, graphics processing unit, reads the data out of the panel to learn how to drive that panel. Well, these iMacs are set, the panel type is stored in the GPU, okay? If it's not a particular panel that says LM171W02TL, if it is not this panel, then reject the panel. So that's what happens. The Mac will not show any video on any panel, whether the pinout is the same or not. It won't show any video on any panel except for this panel. Now what I can do is I can replace this panel with an equivalent panel that's cheaper and not prone to this problem, okay? And believe it or not, this is actually not cracked. It's just the liquid crystals leaked out at that point. But okay, so basically I can replace it with an equivalent panel, which is 1440 by 900. The same pixel clock, same everything. There's a million of them out there, but it's going to have a different model number. It can have the exact same pinout, but have a different model number, and it will not post no video. So what I got to do is I got to take the EDID EEPROM and remove it off the T-Con board, which is part of the panel, okay? I have to take that chip off and either put it on an adapter card to plug one cable into another cable, known as the UniMac adapter, or I can just simply take the chip off this panel and go stick it onto the other panel, and then it would work just fine as long as the panels match. I can probably change the resolution settings and that's all that stuff inside the chip, but I can't change the panel model number, because that's what this BIOS looks at. If the panel model number is not matching to what's in the video BIOS, it won't start up. So there you have it. That's my Conquest of the week.